Hey, NASDAQ, where you get the best dope on the markets. I am your host, Alan Palmer. Let's get right into it here. We're going to talk some charts. We're just going to talk big movers here, and I'm going to go through everything here. Over here on the left here, this is a 3-minute NASDAQ. We just came off these highs. I was just talking with a client, former floor trader, and he was thinking that this might have been historic, and I said, I thought about that yesterday. We rallied a good solid 10%. Off the low tick. Today is day 13 of consecutive higher closes. Very rare. 7, 9, 11, and 13. That's a number here. On a Friday, I had suggested these are some trend lines here. I'm going to show you here. This is also the NASDAQ here. I want to show you how CQG works. Okay, so this trend line here is November's low. This was the all-time high right here. We just came back down to those just this very second. 47 and 37, 737, 747. Two of them that I had mapped that I thought were important. And anyway, we take this trend line from here to here. It comes in at 574. Okay, now let me just show you here. I'm going to change the time frame here. And this is at 818.80, okay? Same trend line, same exact trend line, okay? Because this is the slickness of CQG. If you're looking to get a system, I don't know, I could save you 20 grand a year, 10 grand a year for sure. If you're starting out, and you're going to go with all the bells and whistles, talk. We'll have a little consultation. If you had CQG and you're like, you know what? I want to look at all your stuff. Anyway, so this is that same chart here. Okay, so in an intraday, CQG is so slick, that intraday chart from those lows comes in right here. Okay, and we saw wherever it was, 575 or something like that. Okay, enough of that here. Here's a little 3-minute here. Look at this, man. Here, hang on a second here. We're getting some selling here in the NAS here after this 13-day rally. Okay. And this one, I just told the client here, I'm like 6,800 contracts in 3 minutes. That was this up bar, okay? This up bar, I said, that's very unusual, okay? And look at this. We're followed by a down bar, and we got 10,000, almost 11,000 here. That almost equals the opening bar, okay? The 830 bar, and that's where a lot of we get under this. Look, we just went up to all-time highs. There's some good things, of course. Crude oil here is here. We're down $11 here. We're $3 off the lows, $3.50 off the lows. Okay, let's go look at this. I had not had this on these charts in these videos here, but from this low here, which is only April 10th, right? Oh no, this would be March 10th. Okay, so, March 10th, after the March 9th high, the break. Okay, and this is where the market regained composure, and we ended up going to 117. Okay, here, you want to see it? That was an olive line sell up there. Okay, with two more just in case. Each one, but it was also a major orange. Major orange, the olive would be higher. Okay, this is the way it played off on the top. Okay, and look at this. Okay, you did have one. You tried to take a peek over here, and it ended up being an outside down bar. Okay, and then we closed the day, and then we open up here. Then we came up here to this 103.77 area. These are bank hours. Okay, so this is one of the big boys, the refineries, the hedgers, because we can break $4. We did break through $4 under this 90.77 right here. Okay, from right here. We gap lower, and we traded down to wherever it was, 86 even, call it. I think it was 86.10. I could be 87.10. Anyway, yeah, and 90.77 and 91.52 were very big numbers. Okay, so this light green here, hang on a second here. Let's see. That's the number one. Let's see if this, there it is right here. Okay, so from this big green here that did kind of catch, only a little bit here, but it was pivotal. Okay, I'm talking about 91.52 along with 90.87. Okay, and that would be down here at 73.5. Just in sequence, except the May is going off here. We had huge open interest decline in the May, and they're rolling it into the June. Not quite so much. Okay, so longs are getting out. This would be the June crude oil. Okay, different story here. Here we're at 82. And that spread actually has come in. It was got up to about 15 over. May crude over the next month, which was June. Okay, so it indicated we had a short-term squeeze. Okay, and they got squeezed. They got squeezed by the short hairs. Anyway, so here we have a head and shoulders top here. Okay, this would be your neckline. Okay, I have them. You can't do them in everyone. Here you hit the neckline, you bounce back. Look at this. Look at this, man. Last night we were up at 90. Oh, this is a weekly. No, this is a June. Oh, this is June. 90.34. It says high. Huh. Okay. You know what? This might be. I have the crude oil on delayed here, so that the day chart, this day's worth of data, is incorrect. They have the high $4 higher, so that ignore this last bar. Okay, but otherwise you're just looking over here in the right hand column if you're looking how to read charts. If you were looking to buy here, I have a long-term something here, and now all of a sudden it becomes an orange also right here down by the lows. That's at what was the low today? Here we're looking in the box. 80.56 was the low. It actually missed this one. It got 20 cents underneath that other one, okay? And this is where we are. Okay? If you were looking to sell this neckline here up at 85.17, that's exactly what we did on, well, actually, it was pretty darn similar on a condensed thing in live cattle today. Are we still selling off? We're off a little bit off of that. A little bit over $1. So that would be one way you'd use that as a tool. Here's the bean oil here. This is down, okay, because we're talking crude oil. Here we're talking biodiesel. This has, that's the whole reason this thing ran up here from 49 up to 69. Okay? Big green, big green, big green again. And look at this. We hit it the last night. Again. 69.05 is the high. Oops, no, wait, hang on a second. 69.40 is the high. 05 was the opening. I'm sorry about that. 69.40 is over 69.32 if you took a whack at it and you had 69.32s or 31s to sell. You get back under these at 6. Okay, this is in bean oil here. Here we're holding this. Okay, so we're in a pattern. Under these, the stuff might start to get dicey, and then here a couple more lines over here. This will get dicey, in my opinion. Otherwise, on the upside, there's 73.43 up there. This is in July bean oil. Struggle keeps you honest. Okay, what are we looking at here? We're beans. That was jelly roll. Okay, here beans, we were down a dime here. We just reversed. We're up 2 cents. These are yesterday's highs here. This will be a perfect time if these things are going to take off. You get over here on a Friday. Beans might be a go here. Actually, let's go look at that July Nove. What was going on with that here? July Nove is, just think of it this way. You're long the beans that are left over from last year come due in July, okay? And then you short the stuff that they're putting out in the field, okay? This has started to break here. I think this is on the fertilizer concerns over in Brazil. It's a long story. I'm not going to go into it here, but that would be something. Listen, you want to do a consultation or something? I'm open, okay? I'm open. The pits are closed. Anyway, so let's go look at the November beans just to take a peek at it. I'm sorry, those are spreads. What do we got? Okay, so these are the this would be May, and then whatever's 3 months behind it. So May, June, July, August, and then September. So this would be the September. But in any event here, so if it's plus, shows that the fronts are gaining. Okay, and they were it's less of a range in spreads here. So let's go. We wanted to look at the November beans here. See these things? Look at this. Here's the high close right here in Nove beans, 61 and a half here. High here today is 64. Okay, you could see right there, 64. This is one of these levels. Here it hit exact on the way down. Next time you go down, you go to the next level. That's all I can tell you. And you have a stop under here. These are trading levels, okay? If you're long term, I don't know. Here, you buy it here, you're only a day off, and then So but this is where we are on the right hand side. On the way up, we hit a green here. We're kind of glued to this orange over here, but it looks like, to me, it looks like there's some buying taking place here. And when that happens, when you get something over a new trigger. So on a Friday, I think you have a new trigger. This looks like it's last month's high here. Couple little olive line sells over here, 1205. Look out over. These are November beans, though, so these will probably have a harder time here because they're going in the ground. But if all of a sudden you started getting rain and they started talking delays, they're planting beans first. All these intricacies. You need some grain comments. Let's do business one way or another. You need to open an account. I'm a regulated broker. I don't talk about it here. You would contact me, okay, in the solicitation. Okay, you'd contact me, and then we'd go from there. Let's take a look at corn here. Okay, here the same thing. We had a pretty decent sell-off here. What we go down to? Almost a dime break? 43 and a quarter. Close to a dime break. 9 cents, 4.5 cents, 1%, times 2, 9 cents, 2% break, which is a decent move, Anyway, here we are again. This is in May corn. Okay, we'll go look at the July corn. If you look at this, we're just getting over this. This is 48 and a quarter, and this is 48 and a half here. Okay, here you got this other trend line here. Was it playing here? I don't know. But it just gives you something where you're like, okay, over here, I'm going to buy it. Okay. Or, whatever it is. Some people like to buy strength. So that is corn here. And let's go take a look at July here. Hang on. I got that on auto hide. Here's the July. Yeah. Okay. See, the powder blue was a little bit lower, 54 and a half. We traded down to 52 and a quarter here. This is a daily. Oh, actually, you know what? That's actually the 200-day moving average. Yeah, the green is the 200. This is the 50. And then this is secret over here. That one I learned from Money Manager. You want to know that one only? Okay, I don't know. We can make a deal. I don't know. It's got to be $300 though. So that's why email me, ARP@NASDOG. Okay, here's the NASDAQ. Gee, we're just glancing at the charts here. It's Friday, April 17th, 1240. Whoa. I see a little bit of a bounce here in cattle here. Cattle had a big sell-off. I did a video on that. If you're or if someone else is involved in cattle, someone in your family, maybe you forward them that video on the Rumble. All right. Okay, I'm going to end this video here. Let's look bottom right-hand corner here. Oh, here, goodness gracious. Let me move it over here. This is gold here. Okay, so we're just looking here. Okay, these are your numbers in the right-hand column here. Okay, this one's going up, so it will move up. If you saw this last week and it was at whatever, I'm making it up, 48.95. Now it's at 49.22. Okay, but here you kind of do this, one big explosive bar, and then all of a sudden this becomes the high. This was the low. Here you come in through, you knock on the door, go through it, come back. Okay, and here, now this is hindsight. Okay, here you kind of almost gap lower. Okay, ever so quiet. And this is what it looks like up real close. 48, 84.10. So we just went here, okay, 84.80, okay. They go through them. They go through them a little bit. They're not exacting gold, which is good. It's a good speculative market. And my levels will to keep you out of areas where there's air pockets. So anyway, and then this is silver here. There's a little bit of a longer term chart here. Actually, right here, this would be one to watch right this very second. What time is it? 12:42. Oh, it's the end of the day. As a matter of fact, we just closed. Yeah, 12:42. Okay, so this is the aftermarket here. Okay. Is that line playing here at 81.78? I don't know. Did this one play today? Yeah, kind of. We did blow through it. This was actually the high. It was 89 was the high, 91 was the high, and then we punched through up to 83.24. And so here we are at 81.60, buck and a half lower. Here's this is the, you know what? I shouldn't have saved this till last. But anyway, we talked about NASDAQ. And this is S&Ps right now, late in the day on a Friday, day 13 of the highs. Not in everything, of course, right? Because they got everything. Dow, Russell, NASDAQ, S&Ps, along with all these other little sectors. So here. So we had a little outside down bar here. This is like my 60-minute chart here. And but this is what this looks like here. This is this week. Look at this. We were just down here at the end of March. This is where we closed the quarter, actually, right? Actually, right here. And this is actually when we go one way. I talk about the last 2 days. It'd be the kind of things, if you want to learn about trading, I'd say learn from a guy that came on the trading floor. I wonder if we put an upward sloping channel on this, what that would look like, But, like something like this, the top of the first rally, I don't know. I'm making it up, okay? That one looks, because here you open it up and I don't know. So I just kind of drew that to fit here. But that would be a possible way. And then if it gets under there, you put it, if in fact you think that. Here, we just started a new bar here in the S&P. See it up here? Okay, here, I'll blow it up. Okay, so this is when that's why my lines are exact. Actually, this one does not go. Here, let's see if we had any volume on there. Let me add some volume here. Okay, little bit. No big deal. Okay, we're at all-time highs. As a matter of fact, we came back down to the all-time highs in the NASDAQ. I said that already. Here we come again here. Maybe. Okay. This was the all-time, so if you did sell it up here, first time down, I would scratch. Put in an order to resell it $20 under, okay? And so here all of a sudden we're seeing silver slip late on a Friday. If in fact you need anything or any of this interests you, and I can show you things and whatever it is, even Rumble stock had an olive line. Got a client just likes the charts, okay? And I've got a lot of clients that just like the charts. They don't need to listen to my commentary. They know how to read charts. You put buy against the level, you have a stop underneath there. All right. You need anything like that, email me, arp@nasdog.com. Thanks for watching. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.